Starship version 4 is coming closer. What can we expect from this version? We are going through all 4 blocks to take a detailed look at Starship's past and future. Solar Orbiter delivers breakthrough data, an international project is getting ready to catch a large asteroid, and there is always more. My name is Felix, welcome to What About It, let's dive right in. Starship updates. Anticipation is always great when SpaceX cooks up something new. Now with Starship version 3 and 4, this anticipation is through the roof. Could it be closer than we thought? In recent weeks, I've been bombarded with one recurring question. What are blocks? Why does SpaceX divide its design process into versions? Let's take a little trip down memory lane to get an idea of what's changed and why. Before we talk about version 4, we should review the other 3 versions. Why does SpaceX even do this in versions? Aren't there changes all the time anyway? Alright, here it is, the OG Starship version 1 stack. The one that brought us unforgettable moments like epic holes under OLMs and the only waltz ever performed by a rocket in its natural habitat. We can define versions by looking at booster and ship heights. With a ship height of 50.3 meters on the upper stage, this can only mean ships 20 through 28. With a booster height of 71 meters, this indicates it is booster 7 through booster 10 with the hot staging ring installed. Booster 7, even though already version 1, still flew without the ring on flight 1 and never let go of the ship in flight. There just was no staging. They waltzed as if there was no tomorrow. An honorable mention goes to Booster 4. It was version 0.5, still with big differences from what came later. There are half blocks? Technically, yes. Booster 4 only featured 29 engines. Both 4 and 7 featured hydraulic actuators for thrust vector control, which were later changed to electric. Booster 7 then adopted integrated liquid oxygen landing tanks instead of side-mounted ones. The pill-shaped COPVs on the outside disappeared. Booster 4 is regarded as version 0.5 and Booster 7 made the jump to version 1. First flown in April 2023 on IFT-1, Block 1 marked the true beginning of the integrated flight tests we're used to now. One thing becomes clear, blocks feature major changes. Going from 29 to 33 engines and thus changing the entire engine section is a big change. Now for version 2, first introduced on Starship Flight 4, Ship 29 and Booster 11. Now, you might say there wasn't much change there. Let's just say it got older. Starship grew. At this point, it is often referred to as the cursed version, though undeserved. Significant changes included switching to better tile attachment pins on the ship, which reduced shedding when going up. Block 2 was a first attempt at working toward reusability with improved wiring, simplified plumbing, and greater payload capacity. Everything was supposed to be more robust. Its greatest achievement is undoubtedly the catch of Booster 12 during Starship Flight 5. With greater fuel capacity jumping from 3,300 to 3,650 tons of fuel on the booster and 1,500 tons of propellant on the ship instead of 1,200, this system was originally meant to incorporate Raptor 3. Raptor 3, though, took longer to develop, which forced Block 2 ships and boosters to go with Raptor 2.5. A Raptor 2 engine with Raptor 3 attachment points. Major problems plagued this design step. Flights 4, 5, and 6 were rather successful, providing SpaceX with ample data to refine flap hinge designs for increased resilience and gather insights on booster performance and catches. Flights 7 through 9, though, ended in fireworks. Media attention quickly turned into reporting about failures and SpaceX's struggle. What the world did not understand is that these steps are necessary to identify and solve problems. Hardware-rich design approaches often feel strange. In the end, though, they enable SpaceX to be highly agile in finding a solution that didn't exist before. Here's something less hardware-rich you should try. We're all spending a lot of time on the internet. It's not unusual to be online for half your waking hours. And I'm no exception. So are you aware of digital threats? And are your kids, your wife, your parents? Fortunately, today's video sponsor Surfshark offers a turnkey VPN solution that helps keep you and your family's data private and secure. Just like locking your digital front door, it keeps out who doesn't belong there. It's like an invisibility cloak for your digital home. The Surfshark One cybersecurity package includes a built-in antivirus to protect you from dangers like data worms and Trojan horses. No more worries because Surfshark's got your back. It handles everything for you, including proxy emails, instant alerts, and a fresh start if your data was compromised. It not only protects you no matter if you are at home or on the go, but also covers your entire family. Yes, you really can use it on as many devices as you like. Surfshark protects all of those you love effortlessly. Are you ready for a new standard for your family's security? Go to surfshark.com/Felix or use code Felix at checkout to get 4 extra months of Surfshark VPN. Alright, back to SpaceX's master plan for the next 2 to 3 years of Starship operations. After giving SpaceX success on Flight 10 and hopefully on Flight 11 in the near future, version 2 will be phased out. Gone. Now we go into the unknown, version 3. Version 3 is actively in production and development, so what do we know about this version right now? Let's start with the booster this time. As of recording this episode, Booster 18, the first version 3 booster, has had 6 barrel sections stacked and a transfer tube installed. Yep, only 6, but they show more than you'd think. In another image from SpaceX while teams were installing the new and improved transfer tube, we got a glimpse of Booster 18. Although we couldn't see it in great detail, we still made out a few things. First, let's get a sense of how it's oriented in this image. These are the methane tank's autogenous pressurization pipe mounts. Autogenous what? Autogenous pressurization is used on modern-day rockets to keep the fuel tanks at flight pressure. The engines suck fuel out of the tanks at incredible rates, and if the rocket didn't put something in instead of fuel, a vacuum would build up, eventually crushing the rocket like an empty water bottle. So the autogenous pressurization system continuously takes gaseous propellant from the engines and reverts it into the tanks, preventing this issue. This pressure can either be directly discharged through the engine cycle, as seen on the Saturn V, or utilized for tank pressure, as Starship does. Another thing we see in this image are the cowbell vents. Neither autogenous pressurization nor these vents are new, but there is something different about the chines. Super Heavy has previously stored CO2 and other related things here in these chines for engine bay purging and Raptor startups. With the engine bay now being completely open and thus not needing any venting with the new generation of boosters, this space will largely be empty. So what can we put here? Avionics. Currently, most of this is stored in the forward dome area just below the hot staging ring, which isn't a perfect spot to store these delicate systems. But that area is changing as well, so we need a new place to put this. And this space works like a charm. Now for the ships, or maybe not yet. Unfortunately, not much is known about this new generation of ships yet, other than they will remain the same height, feature new and improved catch pins, and will use Raptor 3 engines when production is eligible. To be fair though, the engine version change alone is a significant upgrade. Now onto the version 4 information, the true unknown. Before we go into detail, note that some of this is speculation based on the information we have, so take it with a grain of salt. On the 26th of last month, Elon Musk replied to someone on X stating that Starship V4 will have 42 engines. This means that ships will get 3 more vacuum-optimized Raptor engines in the future, just like this diagram shows. Full throttle, my friends, seeing 6 vacuum Raptors ignite will be a joy to watch. What this results in is mind-boggling. Version 4 will support a payload capacity of 200 tons. That's 1,538,461 bananas. But with a higher payload to orbit capacity, you need a bigger vehicle. Yes, Starship will grow once again, and there are numbers to prove it. 8.9 meters bigger to be exact. SpaceX is slowly turning Starship into the super heavy lift monster it was always meant to be. From 1,250 tons of force to 1,400, 1,600, and now 2,700 for version 4. That is 2 Eiffel Towers, 450 adult African elephants, 4 fully loaded Boeing 747s, or 22.5 million bananas. That is a lot of bananas. I still hear the laughter when Musk first introduced the ITS, or Interplanetary Transport System, and stated that it was supposed to get 450 tons of payload to Mars in a single flight. Version 4 will not do that, but even half of it would be nuts. But when one thing gets bigger, the other must compensate. The booster is growing as well. But why not do this right now? There is a surprisingly simple answer. Mega Bay 1 will simply not allow for it. This bay, even though it is a mega bay, was made to support 71-meter tall boosters. With version 3 of boosters being stretched to 72.3 meters tall, the bay has reached its limit, and boosters are now height constrained. Great, and how do we fix this? With a new bay. Continuing with version 4, the boosters will reach a maximum height of 81 meters.
Sweet Jesus!
No, literally. The Washington National Cathedral is right around the same height of 81 meters. And that's only the booster of a V4 Starship. Ultimately, Starship V4 will reach a milestone thrust number of 10,000 tons at liftoff. To keep the same units of measurements, that is 8 Eiffel Towers, 1,600 adult African elephants, 18 fully loaded Boeing 747s, or 88 million bananas with some to spare. If that doesn't seal the deal for the most powerful rocket ever made, I don't know what will. Currently, people think humans will fly on version 3. This may not be the case. Unfortunately, SpaceX is not yet ready to put human life on a Starship. With the first human-rated ship being HLS, we still have some time before that happens. In an ever-growing effort to bring humanity to Mars, version 4 might very well be the one to carry people. But that's a topic for another episode. What do you think? Will Block 3 bring reliable flight operations, and will Block 4 fly astronauts to Mars? Let me know in the comments. Before we continue with Starship, here is something you can do to help ensure that we can keep reporting these things. Hit the subscribe button to stay informed, like this video if it brought you value, and become a wise supporter for extra content. Secure your access to up to 7 picture galleries per week, satellite, helicopter and ground photos, and 3D animations. Chat with me and gain more insights on the topic you love. So what we just looked at is the immediate to mid-term future of Starship development. SpaceX lifted the curtain during Flight 10 and gave us a detailed glimpse at what you and I can expect to see. This analysis doesn't even include things like HLS, SpaceX's lunar Starship, their progress on launch infrastructure in Florida, or their still-to-be-seen Mars variant. SpaceX is marching into the future of spaceflight, and we are here to witness it. Excitement guaranteed. ESA's Solar Orbiter mission did something incredible. It reported a breakthrough observation. Scientists have successfully identified and traced 2 distinct types of solar energetic electrons all the way back to their origin on the Sun. And what does this mean? The first observed type is a result of impulse events. In this case, energetic electrons speed of the Sun's surface in bursts. Such bursts are a result of solar flares, local explosions with a tremendous force. The second type, on the other hand, is linked to gradual events. These are associated with coronal mass ejections. Such GMEs are large eruptions of hot gas from the Sun's atmosphere. This type of eruption releases a broader swell of particles and also lasts over a longer period of time. To reach these conclusions, the study relies on data collected between November 2020 and December 2022. Scientists utilized 8 of the 10 instruments mounted on the solar orbiter. During this period, over 300 events were recorded and analyzed. For the first time, scientists have observed a clear link between energetic electrons in space and their origins on the Sun. Solar orbiters simultaneously observed solar activity and measured particles directly as it flew through the electron stream. Crazy. The results of this experiment have practical significance. Distinguishing between these 2 types of energetic electrons is crucial for space weather forecasting. This is because events linked to coronal mass ejections typically contain more high-energy particles, posing a significantly greater threat of damage. Space weather forecasting is becoming more critical as humanity is venturing to the Moon, Mars, and beyond. Understanding the emission of energetic particles from the Sun also yields valuable information that can help to protect spacecraft and those who are traveling in them. One spacecraft that could profit from precise space weather forecasting is Ramses when it embarks on its mission in 2028. JAXA, the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, has now formally requested funding from the Japanese government to join this upcoming mission by ESA. Ramses is an acronym for Rapid Apophis Mission for Space Safety. This planetary defense mission is designed to study the asteroid 99942 Apophis. In ancient Egyptian mythology, Apophis, or Apep, was the giant serpent god of chaos, the eternal enemy of the sun god Ra. There's a reason why this asteroid bears the same name. Apophis will pass by Earth in April 2029, and this event will be a very close encounter, with a minimal distance of a mere 32,000 kilometers to us and everything else there is on this planet. To put it into perspective, that is closer than our geostationary satellites. Uncomfortably close. This near pass offers humanity's first chance to observe a large asteroid up close. So how large is Apophis? Let's try to put it next to something you have a feel for. Apophis is larger than the largest cruise ship in the world. The Icon of the Seas measures 365 meters in length, which makes it 10 meters shorter than Apophis at a width of about 375 meters. Because of the close proximity to our planet, the asteroid will experience Earth's gravitational pull. Scientists expect this effect to be strong enough to alter its rotational state and also likely trigger seismic activity and cause surface changes. Ramses' mission profile calls for the probe to rendezvous with Apophis before the Earth's flyby and accompany it throughout the close encounter. During this time, the spacecraft will conduct thorough observations. The desired result is a detailed before and after survey of the asteroid. And JAXA wants to add its know-how to enhance the mission's capabilities. If funded, the space agency wants to contribute essential hardware. This includes advanced infrared imaging equipment and the craft's solar arrays. But Japanese efforts won't stop there. JAXA wants to offer a cost-effective rideshare option on one of its H3 launch vehicles. ESA and JAXA have previously partnered successfully on multiple missions. This collaboration would be the second asteroid observation mission after the ongoing Hera mission targeting the asteroid Didymos. A decision by the Japanese government needs to be made swiftly, as time is of the essence for the Ramses mission. To achieve its goal, the spacecraft needs to be launched by April 2028. The mission's future hinges on two separate approvals. JAXA awaits a decision from the Japanese government, while ESA's space ministers will make their determination at the Ministerial Council meeting in November 2025. We stay in Japan, let's take a look at JAXA's future solar panels. Mitsubishi Electric Corporation commits to developing solar cells and associated satellite components under Japan's Space Strategy Fund. This fund is operated by the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, which recently selected Mitsubishi Electric as the lead organization. With soaring global demand for space-rated solar panels, Japan has chosen to foster its capability for fully integrated domestic production of these components. Mitsubishi Electric, in turn, has secured a technological partnership with Japanese company PXP Corporation. This company specializes in cutting-edge solar cell technology. These supercells combine both perovskite solar cells and CIGS solar cells for space applications. Perovskites are a type of compound mineral named after Russian mineralist Lev Perovsky. They have the potential to replace silicon in solar cells. The advantages are high efficiency at low costs, and they open up new shapes as such cells offer a much improved flexibility. The other type, CIGS, are copper, iridium, gallium selenide solar cells. That's a mouthful. Panels utilizing these thin film cells offer improved efficiency. Combining these cell types in the new tandem panels allows benefits from both technologies. If the science can be translated to a real-world application, the resulting cell would be efficient and at the same time offer superior resistance to space radiation. Beyond solar cell development, the project also includes the creation of protective cover glass and complete solar array systems. The 6-year project, running from May 2025 to March 2031, represents a strategic effort to strengthen Japan's satellite supply chain. Success could position Japan as a major supplier of space-grade solar components globally, reducing dependence on foreign suppliers. I'm currently working on a video about space-based solar power generation for us down here. This ties directly into that topic. Meanwhile, back here in America, an interesting group of space probes is being prepared for deployment. Slated for a launch no earlier than September 23rd on a Falcon 9 rocket, 3 sophisticated satellites are ready to go to their destination, Lagrange Point 1. The Lagrange points are 5 special locations in space where gravitational forces of 2 large bodies, in this case the Sun and Earth, balance out perfectly. At these points, a spacecraft can park in orbit along with the 2 larger bodies without using much fuel. Yes, there is free parking in space too, not just in Monopoly. Leading the mission is NASA's Interstellar Mapping and Acceleration Probe, or IMAP. This spacecraft is equipped with 10 scientific instruments, all designed to study the heliosphere, the Sun's vast sphere of influence. IMAP is an international undertaking with 35 US states and 6 partner countries participating. Joining IMAP is SWFOL-1, or the Space Weather Follow-on Lagrange 1 Observatory. This probe was designed specifically for operational space weather forecasting rather than just pure research. Real-world application. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration (NOAA) has developed it. The satellite can send back solar weather data in less than 5 minutes and provide alerts of coronal mass ejections 15 to 30 minutes before they impact Earth. That's some important added warning time. The third passenger on this rocket will be the Carruthers Geocorona Observatory. It is destined to study Earth's outermost atmospheric layer, the exosphere or geocorona. This zone is expected to extend at least halfway to the moon, but the actual size and shape are still unknown. This observatory was named in honor of Dr. George Carruthers, who developed ultraviolet telescope technology for the Apollo 16 mission. What a nice way to honor one of today's giants on whose shoulders today's scientists stand. That's it for today. Smash that like button, subscribe for more. This is what fuels the algorithm, and this is how you can help us for free. Check out our epic shirts in your favorite Space Nerd store. Lots of designs by me and other spaceflight artists. Link is in the description and in the card you should see now. And if you want to learn more about how AI might be the first to put a footprint on Mars, watch this video next to continue your journey. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again in the next episode. Types of solar and if you want to learn more about how AI might be the first